How I learned business without school. Here's what I learned and how you can too. I didn't learn business in school. Not how money actually works, not why some companies win and most fail, not how ideas turn into income. Everything I know about business, I learned by watching, experimenting, failing, and paying attention. And in this video, I want to explain what business actually is, what beginners get completely wrong, and exactly how I'd start today if I had to do it all over again from zero. Let's start with the biggest misconception. Most people think business is about money. It's not. Business is about solving a problem for enough people in a way that makes money. That's it. If no one has a problem, there's no business. If people have a problem but won't pay to solve it, there's no business. And if you can't reach the people who care, there's still no business. Money is just the result of value being exchanged. Once I understood that, everything started making sense. Most beginners obsess over ideas. They think the secret is finding the perfect idea. It's not. There are thousands of people making money from boring businesses, cleaning companies, tutoring, marketing agencies, consulting. The difference isn't creativity, it's execution. Which brings us to why most businesses fail. Most businesses don't fail because the idea is bad. They fail because nobody knows they exist. People build products in silence. They spend months perfecting something, then they launch, and nothing happens. They assume good ideas automatically get attention. They don't. Attention comes before revenue. Distribution comes before profit. If you don't understand how to get attention, it doesn't matter how good your product is. That's one of the hardest lessons I learned. Another major misunderstanding is revenue versus profit. Revenue is money coming in. Profit is money you actually keep. You can make a lot of revenue and still be broke. If your costs are high, your margins are low, and your expenses are uncontrolled, revenue becomes meaningless. Profit is what keeps businesses alive. Revenue is just a vanity metric. Beginners chase revenue because it looks impressive. Experienced operators care about margins. Now let's talk about the biggest trap beginners fall into: waiting. Waiting to be ready. Waiting to be perfect. Waiting until they know everything. Business doesn't reward perfection. It rewards speed and learning. The fastest learners win. Every successful business owner you admire started before they were ready. They learned by doing, not by planning forever. If I had to start again today, I'd do things very differently. I wouldn't build an app. I wouldn't chase investors. I wouldn't overthink branding. I'd start with a service. Services are underrated, but they teach you everything you need to know. They teach you how to talk to customers, how to sell, how to price, how to solve real problems, and they require little to no upfront money. A service business is the fastest way to understand how business actually works. Once you can sell your time and skills, you can later turn that into products, systems, and scale. Another thing I'd focus on immediately is attention. In today's world, attention is the real currency. If you can get attention, you can build almost anything. If you can't, nothing works. That's why creators win. That's why brands build content. That's why marketing matters more than ever. Attention isn't about being loud. It's about being clear. Clear messaging beats clever messaging. People don't buy what they don't understand. Which brings us to branding. Branding isn't logos or colors. Branding is trust. Your brand is what people expect when they hear your name. Your personal brand is a business asset. Every video you post, every comment you make, every piece of content you publish either builds trust or destroys it. When people trust you, selling becomes easy. When they don't, nothing works. Another lesson I learned is that business is simple, but not easy. The fundamentals never change. Find a problem, offer a solution, get attention, deliver value, control costs. repeat. Most people fail because they complicate things. They look for hacks instead of habits, shortcuts instead of systems. Consistency beats intensity. Now let me tell you the most important mindset shift. You don't need permission to start. You don't need an MBA. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need perfect timing. You need to start small and learn fast. The people winning in business aren't smarter. They just started earlier. Every mistake teaches you something. Every failure gives you data. Business isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about surviving them long enough to learn. If you're starting from zero, that's not a disadvantage. That's the best place to be. Because you have nothing to lose and everything to learn.